Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. What's up? What's up? What's good? What's good? Excited to have you guys on. Hey, 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 hey. What's going on? Share this feed. This is going to be a great call today. What's going? Hey, Sheila. What's up, Sheila? I said it right. I was about to say Shayla, but it's Sheila. I know it's Sheila. I can see how it's pronounced. Hey, Chef. What's up? Hey, Ida. Hey, hey. What's up, Latrice? Hey, Zane. How are you?
Hey Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We just can't see you.
I'm just trying to get used to this
Yeah.
camera thing. Right?
I know, right? I know. It should be a button on there for you to hit video camera. Hey,
Can you see me?
we did it. Yay. What's up,
We're
Gary?
good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm so glad that you were able to jump on here this morning, live from the UK, everybody. So let's make sure that we share this feed. This is going to be a really, really great call. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here with prayer, and then we're going to jump in with Zane. So, Father, we thank you, Lord, so much for this 2020, this year of disruption that's thrusting us and propelling us and advancing us and accelerating us into our finest hour. God, I thank you that we maximize every opportunity, send massive influencers into our organization, anoint our minds to be able to comprehend and dominate the charts. God, I thank you, Lord, now that all that we put our hands to shall prosper and be of good success. I thank you for Zane, his family, and all that he's doing and the impact that he's making in the beautiful country of Europe. And I thank you, Lord, for all those that are watching, that our lives will be forever made better. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, Zane, thanks so much for jumping on here, brother. I really appreciate it. You guys, Zane is a Chairman 100. So let's give it up for that. Woo! So, Zane, I want to jump right on here. What did you do before you knew about I Am Master Academy? Were you ever exposed to trading before?
No, I didn't know anything about trading. I did hear about it. My mentality was that it was risky. I didn't want to get started because of the fact that I felt like if you had a lot of money, it would be a way to lose a lot of money. So I was quite skeptical. And I was in a different company, and we were kind of doing sales. And every time we spoke about forex, it would be like, it's a no-go zone. Until I thought you had to be good at maths. I don't know why I thought that, but over time I started to realize there's a lot more to forex than I can actually fathom on the outside. So yeah, luckily I took that leap of faith.
Wow. So you were already involved in network marketing before.
Yeah. I was in a company which dealt with direct sales, number one direct sales company in the world. And yeah, we were just basically I was actually promoted to a position called regional director, where I started making very good income in the first 2 years or so, before I found IM.
Got it. So who brought you into IM?
Well, I kind of introduced myself to David. I saw David come to an event that we had in our company, and there was kind of like an event where they had some network marketers come, and people that had made big money. So I went, and he was one of the speakers there. So I connected with him on Facebook, and then I saw that he put up a flyer saying, "Welcome to the financial revolution." And I started Googling Financial Revolution. I thought that was the company. I was like, let me go and find out what this thing is. Let me find out all the flaws and the pros. But it wasn't the company. It was just the kind of like a team title flyer name. So yeah, he got me with that one, and then I messaged him and I said, hey David, what's this stuff about trading? You know, I thought you was in the coffee business, and you know you made a lot of money there. He said, no, I've transitioned. And then he basically got me connected to. I had a call with him and Ivan Tapia, and basically just said, look, I want to take this serious. And so they invited me to Orlando, Florida. I don't know if you remember, Joe. You was one of the speakers there. I think you was a chairman 25 at that point, or maybe just promoted to chairman 25. It was an event in Orlando,
Yep.
where there was about 1,500 people, maybe. I think it
Yep.
was May 2017, something like that.
Yes. Wow. 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 And so you saw this. So let me ask you this. You know, you're in this space. When you got in this space, you obviously said, yeah, I want to be a part of this financial revolution. And obviously you started telling other people about it. But what was your experience when you started? Because for a lot of people, they come over here and they're intimidated, they're afraid, they're like, oh no. So what was your process? Because what I love about it, Zane, is that we're really like a family. It's like a whole wealth community and so much support. When you first started learning trading foreign currency, what was going through your head?
Well, it was you know, I couldn't afford to not do well because I was doing well in my previous company. So I was like, if I come into this, I'm gonna have to do well or to have to leave the industry. So I had to come in and do as much as I can. And to do as well as I could, I had to learn what it is that I provide. You know, and that's where the stigma was within my mind. I was like, if I'm a novice in Forex, it'll be difficult for me to build. So I tried to do what I can to learn the fundamentals straight away. I checked out some videos on YouTube that Jason Brown done. You know, he was doing some basic videos on Forex. I remember watching those. I remember watching Justin Saney, Chris Derrick. Those are the kind of people I was kind of just getting a bit, you know, better help from in the beginning. And then once I knew enough, I knew I didn't have to become a master trader. I just knew that if I made a little bit of money and I knew the basics of what Forex can provide, I can sell it. You know, I know I can sell it because it's good enough. Like when you walk into an Apple store, the Apple salesman is not a primed geek on technology. They just know the basics and the general points on the products. And so if they know that, they just ask you, hey, do you want the iPhone 10 or you want the iPhone 11? Like they're not going to convince you. They're not going to tell you all the technicalities. So I just said, look, you know, if this stuff works, then you know I don't have to oversell it. Yeah, I just have to be kind of like a guide, you know, get them
Wow.
involved, and you know, luckily it worked like that.
Wow. And so you just started telling people, how did you start to market this? Did you do social media? Did you call all your friends, your family? How did you start to market this? And was everybody pretty much a yes?
No, yeah, I had gone through a lot of not just no's, but because I had already done the industry, you have to understand that I had already burnt a lot of contacts. I had already burnt a lot of bridges, and I had already burnt a lot of leaders. You know, because there was a lot of people that had not made money in my previous company, so they're like, okay, if you're gonna start something new, why does it mean that we're gonna make money here and not there? You know, we were always taught that if you can't do it here, you can't do it there, right? So you know they would have that mentality, and I didn't want to convince them because I don't want to be the one to drag them under a bus if it doesn't work again.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, let me just start this. Whoever wants to come can come. If they don't, they don't. And so I kind of just started as like a newbie. You know, I went out and I promoted on social media heavy that I've launched something, I've started something, and I had got a lot of traction. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I needed the whole leverage perspective. I felt like because it was $200, $300 to start, I felt like I can do my bit and kind of try and recruit my way into the numbers, because sometimes people say, well, quality over quantity. And I always say it's always quantity to find quality. You know, you need to go through people to find the diamonds in the rough. And so I said, you know, if I can sponsor 100 people, this was my first year goal. If I can sponsor 100 people and 10 of them were good and they went chairman, then I would be a chairman 100, right?
Mm.
So that's what I kind of, you know, set as a goal. And in our first year, I was chairman 50 within 9 months, and we had about 6 chairmen within the
Wow.
first calendar year. And so, because it was mainly because of David and his goal, he had the goal for 100 chairmen, and he would go on stage and he would say, "Hey, this is the 100 chairmen's goal that I'm gonna do because it's gonna put me and my family on $1 million a month. But how many of these 100 gonna be in your group?" And I said, "Look, I'm definitely getting at least 10 out of these 100. I'm not gonna get this guy making $1 million and I'm the only chairman." So that's something I definitely, because he said, "Look, if you got a vision and a goal and your team just runs with it, then it's
Yeah.
good." Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That is so good. And that's why I love the space, Zane, because you develop relationship with other multiple millionaires like a David, like yourself, like a China, like a Lawrence. I mean, the what we have is so incredible. It's really huge. And those of you that are watching right now, I want to just really encourage you that this is that opportunity. This year can either be filled with a lot of fear, a lot of panic, or you can rise above it and say, you know what, I'm getting ready to educate myself. Because the reality is, there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about money answers all things. And that's so true. While this COVID has been going on, Zane, I was looking for a nurse that could come to our house and give my family and I infusions with vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, like all the good stuff. But guess what? That costs money. It costs money to eat organic. It costs money to have the best vitamins in your house. Like everything costs money. And I think with COVID, it really, really exposed where we were and where we weren't, and then where we need to be. So tell me a little bit about your team, because one of the things that I'm really passionate, I want to see everybody win. I love men, I love women, I want to see everybody win. But I noticed that there were a lot of women that we're kind of taking the back seat. Now that's starting to change, but understand this financial industry is still very male dominated, even though we have a lot of women that are beginning to emerge and come forth and walk into their bossship and still be great moms and wives. Talk a little bit about in the UK, because I was talking to another team there and they were saying it's still very male dominated. So will you talk a little bit about what your team is comprised of and kind of what you run into, and what would you say to women to kind of help encourage them to say, hey, this is for you too, girl?
yeah, no, 100%. I've actually seen a massive rise in recognition for females, and especially during the COVID. And I feel like the business in the UK, we'll go around and doing events and so on. But since the COVID came, I felt like everyone knew that they had them excuses that I have no time, all of that went out the window. So everyone kind of focused on their business at home. And so that's why we started to grow. And in the past, we've had about 8 chairmen be produced in the past 3 to 4 months, and 5 have been female,
Hey,
right? So,
let's go. Come
so
on, ladies. Put some dollar signs in the chat. He said they produced 8 chairmen and 5 have been girls. Girls, this thing is for you. You don't need to sit back and say, I'm waiting for my husband's permission. God gave you your own brain. You better use it. Okay, Zane, go ahead.
and you know what's crazy? Naturally, when you speak about male-dominated business, it's one thing having a male-dominated market, but imagine starting a market and having it a female-dominated market. That's what we've had. Like we've had Nigeria, completely blow up, and it's led by 2 sisters. 2 females, Stefania and Sylvia Ayo. They have another chairman in their group. And one is very close to Chairman 25, and they have I think over 1,500 customers now, and literally it's run by females. There is a lot of guys, but the heart of the market is females. There's not one. There's actually 3 P5Ks in Nigeria, all are females. 2 chairmen, all females, and the other chairman in UK, but she's basically her team is from Nigeria. She's female. So and these are not just females who are high influences. These are females from all different walks of life. Some are students, like Sylvia and Steph now have just moved into a nice apartment, and they were just students, and they have people in their team who are like ex beauty queens, like Miss Nigerias, And you know, you have people like Miss Africa, and these are the influential people who are in the team of students. So sometimes you might perceive, okay, so because I have low influence on social media, I can't really attract the influential. And so you want to take that, you know, and throw it away, because you can definitely attract anyone. It's if your ideology is attractive enough. It's if it's what you're doing is attractive enough, and the person will show. It won't look at, like, if you look at Matt and Jason's story, they attracted Alex, and Alex was a multi-million-dollar earner, and Matt and Jason never made more than $5,000 a month in the industry. So, you know, it shows you that you can never really judge a book by its cover.
That is powerful. Wow. And so I already know Chairman 250 Logan. So share with us just maybe a couple, one or two major success stories on your team of people that, you know, lives are totally changed just from trading. Because some of you that are watching right now, you might say, I don't know if I want to tell other people. You don't have to tell anybody, right? I would suggest that you do it. I think you're going to do it by default, because when you start winning, then the love that's in your heart for your sister, for your brother, for your cousin, for all of them is not going to allow you to just be like, oh, I'm not telling nobody. You start getting the bag. You're like, wait a minute. I made money just like that today on my phone. So if I did that, I know somebody else can do that. Let me share this screenshot. Share with us just really quickly about maybe one or two testimonies on the team that you have.
So basically, we had a very inspiring story. I think it was last year. We had someone go on stage. She's a single mother, and she basically would.
Oh, we lost you. We can't hear you. That's weird. You're in the same spot too. Let's see. That's weird. You know what? Did somebody try to call you? If somebody tried to call you, it'll knock the volume off. So you may have to go out and then come back in, because that happens on your phone. Okay. All right, guys. That's so strong. So very strong. So you can see this doesn't matter if you're in the United States watching, you're out of the United States watching. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is make up in your mind that I'm ready to win, that I'm ready to grow, that I'm ready. I'm ready to receive everything that has been placed on the table. See, this is what I want you to know about 2020. 2020 is a year of maximum opportunity, not fear, not panic, not, oh my gosh, oh no. And of course, we need to use wisdom, wash our hands, stay hydrated, take your vitamins. But when I go out and about, I'm thinking about whose life am I going to impact? I'm thinking about what life am I going to change? Where, when I show up, I expect for things to change. And that's how you need to be thinking. And you need to be thinking, who am I in relationship with? Who do I need to get in relationship with, right? Okay, Zane, I think we got you back. You there?
Wicked. I think, yeah, so I think the signal went with my car as well, so that's why.
Okay, cool. What part of the UK are you in, Zane?
London,
You're
UK.
right in London. Awesome. So talk about a little bit your daily schedule. What does it look like? And what's your favorite strategy to trade?
So when I first started, my schedule was a bit different to how it is now. You know, about a week ago, I just had my second child, young daughter. Yeah, she was born about a week ago, and before that, you know, I had my son last year in March, so back to back. So yeah, before that, my schedule was very different to how it is now. So if I was to, let's say, for instance, most of the people speaking on this call right now probably part-time.
Okay, we lost Zane. All right, so he'll probably. Okay,
I'm back.
Okay, cool.
I'm back.
Okay.
I just had a phone call. That's for
okay, cool.
But yeah, So basically, my day will start around 10 a.m. And every single day, I'll basically wake up, and depending on what I want to do on that day, I'll schedule my day from about afternoon onwards, because in the UK most people work around 9 to 5, and people study from around till about 3 o'clock. So in terms of building the business, that day doesn't start till about 3, because you can't do any meetings with prospects until they're available. So naturally, in the before that time, I'll spend some time on social media. I might spend some time whether looking at strategy, or whether that be Dr. Kathy, whether that be the 8 a.m. sessions for London, whether that be some signals, or wherever it might be, whatever strategy. I used to love the London day breaks. I used to wake up 8 a.m. When the banks open with the GBP pairs. But over time, the more busy I got, the more I started to focus on things that would be fit into my schedule. So everyone knows their own schedules. And that's why it's very important to follow not every educator, but certain educators and certain sessions that tie into your schedule. Some people, what they do is they overwhelm themselves with so much information that's on IM platform that they really don't know what to look at. And that's why they say momentum everywhere is momentum nowhere, because sometimes you can be looking at all these different things and you don't know what to plug in with. So that's why you got to base your schedule around your lifestyle. So my schedule now will be different to how my schedule was 6 months ago, 1 year ago. But every time, every single day, every single week, that schedule should lead, any kind of outcome should lead to income. So whatever you structure should lead to profit if it's done correctly.
That's
If
good.
it's not done correctly, then you're either watching the wrong people, getting the wrong strategies, or doing the wrong time management. Those are the only three reasons why. Because people are making money in IM. One person might be making money watching someone else, and another person might be making money watching someone else. So you might be watching the wrong things. Another person might be making money. I know this. There's a woman in my team. All she does is go on the harmonic scanner, and she makes multiple 5 figures every single month just from the scanner. She doesn't need a session. She don't need no signals. She just uses the harmonic scanner for confirmations, and she makes 5 figures every single month. So there are people like that, but there's also people that, again, like I said, use fundamental analysis, technical. They use strategies. They use all these different types of volatile pairs. Some people stick to 1 or 2 pairs. So it really, really is about what the person prefers, and what they're comfortable with. And one thing I definitely would say is if you're not, David told me this when I started. If you're not prepared to lose the money that's in your trading account, don't have that money in your trading account, because that will lead to revenge trading. That will lead to psychological, burden. I remember I used to, there's, because I'm Muslim, every single Friday we have Friday prayer right in the mosque, and Fridays are the NFPs. So the Euro USD will be like super volatile, and it'll be in the afternoon, and the prayer will be actually in the afternoon. So sometimes I'll be in these Euro USD trades. I'll have like 3-4 positions sometimes open, and I'll literally be walking into the mosque thinking, I'm thinking about my MT4, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be, and I literally couldn't help. And I literally in prayer, I'm like, I'm either going to be really pissed off after, or I'm going to be really, really fired up, and no one here knows why, right? So I'm like, you know what? I need to stop this, and I need to be composed when I trade. So what I started doing, I just said, you know what? I'm going to leave my phone at home. Whatever happens. I'm just going to focus on today, or I just won't even trade. It is what it is. So yeah, I definitely feel like emotionally, you can't let the highs get to you, and you can't let the lows get to you. You just have to go with the flow. So that's why you should never trade with money you're not prepared to lose, because then you'll be emotionally attached to it.
Yeah, that's good. People are saying that's good, Zane. That's good. One of the last questions I have for you: what do you think the state of the economy is in the UK, globally? What are you seeing right now?
Well, since the Brexit, in March, well, I think in March 2016 when it first got announced, something around that time, or 17, the pound has dropped massively, and it hasn't recovered ever since. It hasn't recovered to that standpoint. Like I remember I used to go to Europe a lot. You can get 3,000. You can get 4,000 pounds for 3,000 euros. Now you actually get less euros than pounds. So you actually get 4,100 pounds for 4,000 euros. So it's like the other way, and it's like it's ridiculous. So, and then now you got the other referendum, then you got the COVID, then you got all these political problems with obviously, with the George Floyd matter. This all affects the economy, because at the end of the day, the environment goes into shutdown, and so what happens is the pound itself, for it to recover, businesses need to recover, and that is not going to be happening anytime soon. And so, all of these, peaceful protests, all for a good cause, but in terms of the economic impact, it's not gonna guide that. So that's why I feel like today is probably a very fundamental part to know what pairs you need to trade with and how much you want to trade. Because if you trade if you trade too much, it can lead to heavy losses. And if you calm down and you monitor more, you can lead to big gains, because now you have much more time to do that. Most people are not working right now. They're not in business right now. So they can spend that time monitoring those pairs and monitoring those currencies and seeing what's happening all around the world. And that can be a big, massive effect. I know in the US, there's a lot of stuff happening with Trump and so on. And it's the same thing with the USD. The volatility and fluctuation can be heavy. So some people, again, rise to the challenge, and some people just kind of lay low. Both are not right and wrong. It's whatever people choose. So yeah, that's something I definitely would look at, and hopefully the pound itself. I'm not really too fussed, because in the end of the day, when you're in this industry, you're not making a salary or anything like that. So it is what it is. But what can you do? You just hope for the best for everyone else that's relying on it. Plus, we get paid in dollars. So if the pound drops, it's a good thing. So yeah, if it gets stronger, the dollars get less. So yeah, we get paid $100 in money in dollars. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Last question, Zane.
I think you're on mute, Jill.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you now.
Okay. Last question. Your business, my business, those of us that are in this space trading, this year, would you say this has been your strongest?
Sorry, Joe, I can't hear you. That can I?
Can't hear me?
I don't know why.
Okay.
Can everyone else hear you?
Can y'all hear me? Looking on the post. So you still can't hear me? No.
No, it's not coming through.
I wanted if somebody to call you. So, okay, people can hear me.
1 second. Let me try and see if I'll just go.
Come back on. I just have to ask them this last question. But what I wanted to tell you guys is that when you're in the right industry, because we are having the right industry right now.
Yeah, still can't hear you, Jill.
You still can't hear me?
Bit
okay.
low.
Okay, all right. Thanks for joining us, Zane.
It's all good? It's okay?
It's good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. I'll catch up with you on WhatsApp.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but when you kind of look at, I know we could hear him. He couldn't hear me. I don't know. Maybe signal was going crazy in the UK or something. But when you look at like the economy, what's going on, I think, the bottom line is, I want to say for those of you that are watching and wondering, is this for me? Is this something that I should do? I think it's for everybody. What you just have to tell yourself is, I'm preparing to learn something new. I'm ready to learn something new. I'm ready. You can type a question. Oh, I could have typed the question. Yeah, he's gone now. We'll get him next time. But, and that's what you have to tell yourself. You have to be willing to continue to keep learning, because that's what this is all about. It's not like you can get in here, and this is why I'm still here 4 years later. Sometimes people are like, you still there 4 years later? Haven't you learned how to trade? I have, but market makers, news, all of that causes fluctuations in the market. Every time our president tweets, the market is either going to go up or down. We learn how to either write it up on a buy or write it down on a sell. Every time there is a protest, it impacts the news. food, imports, exports, the closing of businesses, COVID, like all of these things impact the markets. And so the reason the education is important and so continual is because nothing is ever just going to be like, okay, just say just like this. No, right, Shamira? One day it'll be like this, Shalonda. The next day it'll be like this, Dion. And what we're doing is we're putting ourselves in a position where we can ask these questions, right? We can ask the questions. We can, hear different viewpoints globally. This is why I love this. We're in 120 countries. So if, I hear something like, hey, let me run this by my brother Zane in the UK. Or wait, let me run this by such and such in Kenya, because what's happening in Kenya and what's happening in the UK impacts what happens here in the United States. So when you start talking about creating your own economy, the reason this space is so powerful is because now you actually have an opportunity to talk to everyday people, and they can share their experiences. They can share their stories. They can tell you, okay, this is what I was looking at the chart today. I've got my chart right here. And I was looking at the chart, and according to the chart, this is what I think, but news is coming out here. All these things work together, right? It's almost like, if somebody goes to the hospital to get the heart worked on, they may say, hey, but we also want to bring in a neurologist, okay? Because, I think the brain function, because of the heart, I want to run it by a neurologist. I want the neurologist to come and examine and see what they see from a neurologist standpoint. The neurologist might say, yeah, I checked it out, but let's call in OB, because I'm looking at this woman, and from what I can see, but let me ask somebody who studies in that area. It's the same thing with wealth. If you want to become wealthy, you have to begin to study wealth. Talk to other people that have made wealth, that are growing wealth, that are expanding in wealth. These are not people that are interested, Larry, in staying in the same space, doing the same thing. Because if you're doing the same thing that you were doing last year, I wasn't doing all these lives and stuff like this, right? But what happened? Change came, markets changed. COVID came. So I had to shift. I had to pivot. So you want to stay around thinkers. You want to stay around people that pivot, that aren't afraid to pivot. Stay inquisitive. So I just want to encourage you guys, as you're on here today, thank you so much for joining. Get back with the person that invited you on here. Having that conversation with Zane, amazing leader in the UK, was amazing. I know you guys got a lot from this. Get back with that person that invited you. It's time to make that decision. One decision can change your entire life, okay? So I'm going to be back on in 20 minutes with my brother, Ivan Paycheck, and my sister, Dr. China. And I think we're going to be on her Facebook, and we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency and the state of the economy. Listen, I'm a junkie for this stuff. I love learning. The more I know, the more I make, the more lives I change. That's how it works, guys. So have a great day. Have a good one. God bless. Bye.